We're live from the capital, Gaborone. This is BTV News at 9 o'clock. I am Komotso Mapani. Let's take a look at the headlines. Namibian President Dr. Nangolo Mumbumba arrived in Botswana this afternoon. Botswana remains committed to implementing policies aimed at accelerating equality and empowerment of women and girls. And in sports, the one-day Francistown Major Bowls tournament said to be a success. The president of Namibia, Dr. Nangolo Mumbumba, has arrived in Gaborone to attend the memorial service of the late president of Namibia, Dr. Hage Geingob. The memorial service will be held tomorrow in Gaborone at the GICC. The memorial service, hosted by President Dr. Masisi, will be attended by, amongst others, ministers from Botswana and Namibia, senior government officials, members of parliament, senior citizens, members of the diplomatic corps, and other dignitaries.
You know, when the test of your integrity, character, fortitude came through, you shone like a bright Namibian diamond. We really applaud you, because what you did is you enhanced the value of the neighborhood. You're a good neighbor. Namibia is a good neighbor. It's had good leaders. It has good leaders. Your Excellency have made it known to the Namibian government and people and to Madam Geingos that we wanted to honor a very dear friend to Botswana, dearer than what most people know publicly, President Hage Geingob, by memorializing him via a state memorial we'll host tomorrow. And we want to thank you for honoring us. We didn't expect it, but we are so proud of what you've done, and you've really given us a lot of comfort in sharing this with us.
We owe you, Your Excellency, President Masisi, the people of Botswana, and the government of Botswana for all the assistance. It was not what they call moral assistance. It was personal support, physical support, and any other support we needed, you did provide it. But we should also not forget about the past. Botswana has always been the place to go to when you are in trouble in Namibia. Go to the east, Botswana will help you. And you can proceed to go back, but you can always come back to Botswana. I'm glad Your Excellency already mentioned some of the things we are working together. The Binational Commission, those who are responsible for international relations or foreign affairs, prepare yourself and give us a proposed date so that we can meet. This time it will be on the Namibian side.
The president of Namibia, Dr. Nangolo Mumbumba, paid an introductory courtesy call on President Dr. Masisi. When welcoming him, President Masisi said Botswana deeply cherish and respect Namibian President Dr. Mumbumba for his humility and how he diligently executed his duties in various offices he has held, applauding him for enhancing the value of neighborliness. Dr. Nangolo and his delegation are in Botswana to attend the state memorial service of the former Namibian president, Dr. Hage Geingob, hosted by the government of Botswana. He appreciated the warm and thoughtful gesture of the Botswana government for hosting and allowing the Namibians to be part of the state memorial service in honor of the fallen giant. Dr. Mumbumba also noted that Botswana and Namibia relationship goes a long way, adding that he is more than resolute to extend the collaboration. The two leaders will tomorrow lead the state memorial, which the peoples of both countries will have a chance to watch the proceedings live in their respective media channels. In other news, the Minister of Youth, Gender, Sports and Culture, Mr. Dumiso Rakgare, says Botswana remains committed to implementing global standards and policies aimed at accelerating the achievement of equality and empowerment of women and girls. He said this at the ongoing 68th session of the Commission on the Status of Women in New York, United States of America. Kabelo Khakololo with the details.
The Commission on the Status of Women was established by a resolution of the United Nations Economic and Social Council, ECOSOC, in 1946 to promote gender equality and the empowerment of women. It is held annually here in New York, and Botswana is among the 45 member states that have consistently been attending the event.
Gore re be re le ha re leng teng gompieno bogologolo ne go se motlholo go nna le bomme ba le bantsi ba eteletse pele a ke go etelela pele mo pusong mo maemong a bokwaledi jwa lephata being permanent secretary a ke go etelela pele o le mo maemong a bo director within ministries a ke go etelela pele mo go maphata a harologaneng kana makala a harologaneng a puso go a diragala mo nakong ya gompieno.
In the next 11 days, member states, UN entities, NGOs, as well as development partners will evaluate progress on gender equality, identify challenges, set global standards, and formulate policies aimed at accelerating the achievement of gender equality, empowerment of women, and strengthening financing with a gender perspective.
Statements are on as ministers. Diabedi ka ile ka gore mme gone tema e leng teng re ile ba ka tselentseng ja la ntlharele le hatsara e khutsohalla ka gore kana jaanong ha wa go bua le ditšhaba tse dingwe go tshwana ke gore o bo ka bua with conviction ya gore mme le khonne gore sengwe le se dire le khonne go totoba mo tseleng yone e seng motlholo e dingalo.
These issues are so dear to the heart of the First Lady, Mrs. Neo Masisi, who is expected to give a keynote address on the nexus of a GBB-free generation. The First Lady is the UN's champion for the empowerment and engagement of adolescent girls and young women. Kabalo Khakololo, BTV News, New York, United States of America.
In an effort to deal with Environmental Act violations, the Department of Environmental Affairs hosted a forum with Botswana Police Service in the Chobe district to capacitate them on environmental issues and the Environmental Assessment Act. The district environmental coordinator, Mr. Utsile Kgang, said they want to develop solid collaboration with the Botswana Police to enable them to enforce the law fully. Kitso Taimani.
The Department of Environmental Affairs in Chobe are having a hard time with offenders not paying their fines. The District Environmental Coordinator, Mr. Utsile Kgang, said they want to work thoroughly with the police officers in order for them to lawfully administer the law offenders to pay their fines, and also making sure that citizens abide to the laws at all costs.
Molao le one ona le ha eleng gore ra re khona go thela teng re le bodiredi ha gongwe le gore tsamaiso yone ya go ka charge o se very competent mo go yone mme ne re dumela gore mapodisi ka gore they are tried and tested ba bangwe ba bone e nile di prosecutor re ka khona go ithuta mo go bone gona le melato e mengwe e leng gore gongwe ne re charge batho mme ba sa tla go duela so re dumela gore ha re ka bereka le ba sepodisi melato a go nna lo batho ba ka heletsa ba duela.
The Chobe District Police Services said they are determined to work with the Department of Environmental Affairs, primarily on the issues concerning law enforcement, and other pending matters are waiting for lawful attendance.
Gona le khanya di case tse gongwe ba ka tswa gongwe bana natso ba di sa hela di le ka go go bone re re tse di ntseng jalo tse ile gore gongwe di padile gore gongwe di ka duelwa mateng ba tshwere ba duela go mo goreng a ba tsise go mo goreng ba ka re kopana le rona ba sepodisi gore re ba thuse dikgang tsa go nnalo.
The attendees shared their suggestions and acknowledged the forum.
Re kgone go ba bontsha act ya bone ga ena le diloophole teng ke ne ke eletsa thata gore act ya bone e tshwane le yone ya BES ba ne thata hela tse tshwanang hela le BES hela gore sengwe le sengwe se siame le se ka thola re ya go makgoteng ra go kopa gore so se forfeited to the state
ka gore tota dikgang tsa environment ke dio tse leng gore re tle re kopane le tsone gone ka go dikgaolong tsa rona ka so I have learned a lot ka lebaka la gone gore re kgone go itse gore mme gore re bereke sente ka re ka itomaganya le bone ba office a dia gore kgone go dira tiro ya rona sente.
The Department of Environmental Affairs is urged to capacitate Botswana police services nationally with environmental law course so that they are able to enforce law with the adequate knowledge. Kiso Temane, Botswana Television, Kasane.
Khansi leadership has hailed the timely manner in which the Healthy Families Foundation heeded their call to host a family building campaign aimed at coming up with solutions which could address social ills bedeviling the Khansi community. Rampant drug usage, gang-related murders, teenage pregnancies and defilement, as well as high levels of delinquents are said to be some of the most challenging social issues. Angela Enosa with more.
Rampant drug use, gang-related murders, defilement and youth delinquents are some of the challenges the Khansi community is battling, but this is just the tip of the iceberg. The leadership is worried, trying to come up with solutions which will nip in the bud these problems which are eroding family structures and resilient societies.
Isi ditagi tse di go tshwarisang tshedi sa 2 hours nya tse di bolang botshelo ba gago go bohetsa re setse re na le dikgetsi tse di akaretsang polao mo teng because of these drugs mme re boloditse letsholo la gore re leke go lwantsha ke dumela gore this is the first ammunition
ka mo gongwe le gone re tabe re bana ga ba re retse mme le rona re le batsadi re sa retse bana re sa tshele le bana sente ngwana le ene re ha tshwere kgang a ba palelwa ipotsa gore ke a go ra mama ke reng.
The new mind, though a positive development, also brings with it emerging trends.
This campaign came at the right time when our mining operations are starting to build up. We are seeing a lot of influx of people coming into Khansi, and when the social issues get.
Through this campaign, the Healthy Families Foundation has trained over 17,000 people nationwide. Khansi, with its myriad of challenges, is the 8th pit stop.
We think that you are tired of hearing stories of gender-based violence, of youth that are getting drunk and committing crimes, of people who are cheating, of orphans and vulnerable children. And so we want to equip you to change the story.
Re bone malapa tia re bone go buisana ga rona le mo go siameng re bone boitshwaro bo bo siameng re bone batho ba na le maitseo ba ba na le botho ba ba na le tirisano mmogo ba ba na le therisanyo gore gantsi atle a tlhabologe gantsi ataye go gongwe.
The whole intent of the campaign is to get to the root cause of conflicts within the family structure and find solutions which will ensure better relations and relationships, subsequently building better communities which know how to deal with various challenges. Angela Nosa, BTV News, Khansi.
Removing barriers such as stigma and discrimination in response towards fighting HIV and AIDS remain crucial in achieving a free AIDS generation in the next coming years. This has been indicated by NAPA Deputy National Coordinator Mr. Batlalifila Hajang at a breakfast briefing held in Gaborone for Botswana Police Service on the capacitation on HIV, human rights and law enforcement. Mojadi Mukibelo reports.
HIV/AIDS remains one of the pandemics which have been a threat to many lives, and in response towards this, the government of Botswana made significant strides in fighting the scourge through establishing and capacitating robust programs in eliminating the existing barriers such as stigma and discrimination amongst others. NAPA has been mandated to coordinate the national response through a sustained multi-sectoral partnership in preventing any new infections of HIV/AIDS.
I would also like to point out that although we have achieved commendable progress on integrating human rights and gender into AIDS response programs and related laws, policies and regulations, the recent Botswana AIDS Impact Survey, which was launched, the results of which was launched by His Honor the Vice President in August last year, indicate that several groups, such as adolescents and young women, men who have sex with men, female sex workers, are still facing a heavy burden of new HIV infections.
The strides made in receiving ART is commendable for the nation, although we are missing some people, especially children. If the 2% we're talking about is to do with law enforcement space, surely we will introspect.
Relevant stakeholders were on board and came up with strategies on curbing all the barriers on the fight against HIV/AIDS.
One of the critical roles we play as an organization is what we call community-led monitoring. This is where we use community members to document any human rights violations that take place at community level.
Another important function that we have as the Ombudsman is that one of complaints handling. That these people that we are talking about, if their rights are violated, they also have access to the Ombudsman to lodge their complaint, where the Ombudsman will investigate, do the fact-finding and make his own conclusions as a way of eventually providing remedies for the excesses that may have been proved by the evidence.
NAPA and the Botswana Police Service have vowed to work closely in creating conducive environment for legal and policing services in order to win the war against HIV and AIDS. Mojadi Mukibelo, BTV News, Gaborone.
Human Resource Development Council, HRDC, will introduce technical and marketathon skills to this year's career fair. The two speak to technological advancement and promotion of technical vocational education amongst young people. HRDC Executive Chief Officer Professor Alina Sahobe made the statement during a press briefing ahead of the annual BHRDS fair next week, Tuesday.
HRDC has been hosting the career fair for over a decade to grant over 1,000 young people an opportunity to explore their career choices. However, with the recent challenge of skills mismatch and dominance of theoretical knowledge, the need for balance in both theoretical skills and practical was highlighted to be key and integral to the country's aspirations to transition to a knowledge and technological-driven economy.
This is the opportunity for young people to learn from practitioners of the creative industries how to do creative products such as basketry and other such products. These are critical because we want to ensure that young people see an opportunity in the creative industries, especially to support our emerging and established tourism businesses. We've also included a makeathon. You may recall that last year in October, we hosted what was called a makeathon with partnerships with the University of Botswana and other partners, where we enabled young people to bring out their talents in developing skills in areas like robotics, engineering, and what we call the 4R technologies.
Amidst the popular myth of TVET being for those who did not do well at school, HRDC affirmed their role to demystify such beliefs, noting the significance of technical skills in the growth of economies, even in the most developed countries.
Between ourselves as HRDC and our parent ministry, Ministry of Education and Skills Development, we've embarked on a very aggressive pathway of ensuring that TVET skills are developed and valued. What ministry has also done is, as you may also know, encourage the development of what we call the new curriculum of multiple pathways. We've seen, for example, the pioneering of TVET-related curricula at schools like Maung Secondary and Muen Secondary, among others. These are efforts to try to ensure that we follow what in other countries like Germany and Finland are the skills development pathways where technical skills are introduced at the high school level, so that those young people who would like to diversify their careers towards TVET can already begin to get that curriculum and training at high school. Then they can go towards TVET.
Botswana Human Resources Development Skills Fair will begin from the 19th to the 22nd of this month in Gaborone. Gilikelezwe, Somolekai, BTV News, Gaborone.
The Dinokeng Fish Festival has been credited for bringing together fishermen, investors and customers into one place. This was stressed by the area Member of Parliament for Muchudi East, Mr. Mabuse Pule, during the second edition of Dinokeng Fish Festival, which was held under the theme Fish All the Way, focusing on fish farming. He highlighted that the objective of the Fish Festival is to promote aquatourism. Budulo Muhorosi.
Dinokeng Fish Festival aligns with the pillar of the reset agenda, which is building and developing a resilient local economy by giving the residents an opportunity to benefit from the natural resources like rivers. Mr. Mabuse Pule says this festival celebrates aquatourism.
Fish Festival, it brings together local fishermen, fishery stakeholders, potential customers or investors to their business. This is the first step in a series of interventions that seeks to lift or promote aquatourism in the Dinokeng region of Muchudi East.
Given our commitment to move beyond fishing into fish farming, I can say into food value chain development, a proper plan is essential to achieve optimal productivity, maximum profits, sustainable use of this resource, and well-being of our nation.
Fishermen were also encouraged to practice sustainable fishing so as to allow the next generation to also benefit from fishing.
United Nations Sustainable Development Goals e leng gore ngwe ya tsone ke tlhokomelo ya tlhapi, gore tlhapi go rulagangwe gore le gantswa e le motlhabongwe ba se le gore a seja segolwane bile e leng gore e kaiwa e le one of the healthiest diets. We also
emphasize to do the fish farming, not the fishing. Fishing also is one of the livelihoods for the poor fishermen. Also, and we also have some protected for the biodiversity to protect this fish economic dynamics, to protect our annual basis for the restocking program. We have our team to do the bench to quarterly disease control survey. There's a stocking survey. Everything is there to minimize our fish population dynamics in the open ecosystem. So rather than the fish farming is one of the way one of the platform to increase and fish production for the country.
The fishing festival is commended for improving and developing fishing business.
Life jackets, cooler box, sala moletlo fish festival. Re khona go letswa ke batho ba go ntle how poster product ya go e leng tlhapi re go kwanetseng ha o khona bona tatedi ya batho.
This festival consisted of various activities like fish cooking lessons, traditional choirs and fishing competition as a way of showcasing Bakatla culture. Budulo Mohoros, BTV News, Dinokeng.
Drill Right, a local agribusiness company, has been granted rights to source water from the Limpopo River to utilize it for a Lucerne irrigation project and expand its operations from Boer goat and Kalahari red stud breeding to fodder production and livestock feed manufacturing. Karabo Mulusi reports.
funded by SEDA to the tune of 2 million bula for the construction of a pipeline, connection of electricity and fencing the Lucerne farm near Limpopo River. Drill Right got a jump start to survive shortage of water and keep alive the dream to improve food security and stimulate economic growth pioneered by the agricultural sector.
This is one of the 3 boreholes that were used for irrigation in a piece of land measuring 30 hectares in this farm. But since last year, they have dried up, forcing the enterprise to come up with an alternative solution.
Me ha e tshela re letella gore re ka goga metsi ra dira matangwana a re ka tsaya metsi mo gone mo go rang gore re ka kgona go baya metsi a selekanyo se re ka se tlhokang mo nakong e e rileng e leng gore dipula di a be di sedine.
With the prospects of boosting availability of water, this livestock feed manufacturing plant worth over 1 million bula is expected to get back in operation alongside the Start Kalahari Red and Boer goat breeding business.
Re le ka go dira dipudi tse e leng gore di ka kgona go re thusa go thabolola leruo le le teng mo lefatsheng la Botswana. Ha re ntse re dirisetsa Batswana ba go thabolola boleng ba dipudi tse ba di tshotseng ka dibuogoti tse di bonalang tse le dikalahari tse re di bonang hatse bone gore e tere ga ba setse ba ya go rekisa ko marketeng o tautona a kileng a bua ka one o konte ko mahatsheng a sele e be e le tsa boleng.
Transitioning to sustainable water management practices and expansion on this farm is earmarked to unlock more jobs and business opportunities for the locals.
With a population of over 400 high-quality Kalahari Red and Boer goats in just one farm, the staff is right here for the locals. And it's a reflection that local farmers are ready to take up the highly anticipated Thuo Letlotlo and elevate Botswana's economy to greater heights. Karabo Mulusi, BTV News, Tuli Block.
The establishment of the Silibe Pigwe Citrus Farm does not only bring economic opportunities, but also facilitates a crucial skills transfer to locals and transform the regional into a manufacturing hub. So far, more than 10 university graduates hold supervisory positions at the farm. Mamusi Siska with more.
The citrus farm has emerged as a source of optimism for the nation, providing jobs and training prospects. A key outcome has been the transfer of agricultural knowledge, with many students from Botswana University of Agriculture and Natural Resource, Buang, now involved in the significant project, acquiring skills to contribute to the country's economy.
Citrus industry is new to Botswana. I had less experience and less skills more citrusing, but the skills transfer is going very well. As of now, I can 2 years I think I can run my own farm confidently. It's a very technical industry, the citrus industry. But additionally, different needs at specific times.
Furthermore, the farm's operations have generated a need for skills beyond agriculture. The need for infrastructure development, such as packaging facilities, has led to an influx of jobs in manufacturing engineering.
So to have a big project like this, I will promote only the citrus industry. It also promotes other industries that work along the supply chain, supply such a big pack house. We have a big pack house, so equipment. So if you're going to have space, you're going to need companies about to supply this space. You're going to need companies about to supply all the chemicals you need to use here. So that on its own, I think it's a good initiative for manufacturing of Botswana as an industry. So if projects like this, they can nothing more and more of them. I think manufacturing of Botswana up to a standard now.
As the farm continues to thrive, Silibe Pigwe is poised to become a leading manufacturing hub, driving economic growth and prosperity for the local community. Mamusi Siska, BTV News, Silibe Pigwe.
The Ngamiland Council of Non-Governmental Organizations has petitioned the anti-hunting bill to be tabled at the House of Commons in UK this month. Representatives from affected communities say the hunting trophies bill, which prohibits their importation, negatively impacts wildlife populations, compounds human-wildlife conflict, stifles conservation efforts, and affects general welfare of communities of people living in wildlife areas. The council said this at a press conference following the submission of a petition to the British High Commission today. Utidile Unkabetse reports.
Botswana is home to a diverse wildlife population, including the largest elephant population in the world. With evident socioeconomic benefits of her tourism sector and sustainable wildlife management practices and evidence, Botswana faces negative implications should the United Kingdom's anti-hunting bill be passed.
We, the communities living alongside wildlife, represented by 22 community trusts across Botswana, write to you today with deep concern regarding the proposed bill to be presented to the UK Parliament on prohibition of importation of trophies from CITES listed species for importation to the United Kingdom. Our petition addresses critical issues that we believe merit careful consideration and evaluation. We implore your government to carefully consider the implications of enacting the hunting trophy import prohibition bill. Such a decision could have far-reaching negative consequences on wildlife population, exacerbate human-wildlife conflicts, undermine conservation efforts, and impact the livelihoods and well-being of communities residing in wildlife areas. We trust that your esteemed office will give due consideration to our petition and advocate for sustainable wildlife management practices that balance conservation efforts with community needs and welfare.
Various concerned organizations and communities spoke highly of the benefits of trophy hunting on socio-economic development, hence the need to stand in unison to lobby against this bill, as it carries weighty repercussions which will adversely affect communities and socio-economic development.
Our sense of talk at Kimori, Lemo, Emory, you see Santonio, Quoting Comahero, how having did it to Saya.
Let's go, they know by the community, but he gave the government was on board the rain. The Haslamano Sina, Kilomar outside, but over the traffic. You are right on Pusua Kwamon in the May Isa, Kwamukana. Trophies kana dinozelo go chocolate se ko matsi na tswana go tswana go ra kana ga re kara fona go anywa kana wa gola titane ba tsuba go matsi na go.
The delivery of the petition by Nkongo happens just over a week ahead of a scheduled retabling of the anti-hunting bill, which failed to pass at the House of Lords in the United Kingdom last year. Utsidile Ongabetsi, BTV News, Gaborone.
Police are investigating a case in which an Indian businessman was attacked and killed by robbers at his house in Gaborone Phase 2. The events took place yesterday evening and police managed to arrest the situation, in the process killing the two suspects who were armed with a gun and knives.
I would like to confirm an incident in which a 54-year-old man of Indian origin was attacked and killed by two armed robbers yesterday at Phase 2 location in Gaborone at around 1800 hours. The body of the deceased was found by the police at the scene of crime and was discovered when the police, or when we were responding to a report by an anonymous caller. And on arrival, we were confronted by the suspects who charged at us as they were trying to flee the scene. Subsequently, we managed to fatally shoot the suspects. The deceased, who are believed to be aged between 35 and 40, were in possession of a pistol and 2 knives.
It is time for sports with Liza Osekeng. Liza, how are you, ma'am?
Hi, Khomoso, I'm good. How are you?
I'm well.
What? Okay, I'll take over.
Please proceed, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Khomoso Mapani, good evening. My name is Liza Osekeng with your World of Sport. And in our first story, Director of Bowls at Botswana Bowling Association, Bhaven Balendra, says that the one-day Francistown Major Bowls tournament was extremely competitive, while also encouraging excellent sportsmanship. The tournament was used to select and prepare the national team for upcoming competitions. Garabo Sibili has the report.
The Francistown Major Bowls Tournament drew 5 bowling clubs in Silibe Pique Bowls Club, Joannem Bowls Club, Orapa Bowls Club, and the host Francistown Bowls Club, with the aim of selecting the national team as well as to promote sportsmanship among players from different clubs.
Through these tournaments, we are also able to see the players' abilities, how they fare on different environments, different greens, and able to select our national squad from these tournaments as well.
Silibe Pique C emerged the victors with 9 points and pocketed 4,000 pula.
We were playing a very competitive team. In all the 3 games, we actually played our best.
Joannem finished the second position on 9 points and walked away with 3,000 pula. On that spot, Orapa C finished with 6 points and received 2,000 pula.
So we knew at least we are up to that.
Gaborone B finished 4th in the tournament after gathering 6 points and walked away with 1,000 pula prize money.
We played well. We won the first game. The second game we lost very closely, like 2 shots. And then the last game I said, guys, let's enjoy. If we lose, we lose.
The national team to be selected from this tournament will proceed to the African States Championship, which will be held from the 23rd to the 28th of September this year in Orapa. 8 African countries are expected to participate in the tournament. Garabo Sibili, BTV Sport, Francistown.
And now moving on, sports volunteerism plays a pivotal role in the growth of sport in any country, and it is for this reason that Botswana should continue volunteering in sports. This was said by the guest speaker Marcos Letebele during the Khanti Sub-Region Sports Volunteer Movement Annual General Meeting. Lesego Mokwaisi has the report.
The Sports Volunteer Movement was established with the aim of having a group of volunteers readily available to help during preparation for sports competitions in Botswana. The Khansi region, just like other regions, also has this movement, and we're having the annual general meeting recently.
This resembles who you are as a nation. It also adds to pillar of loving and caring nation. The superior chaba e mokelo botoko ba gaetse. Bogolo thata ka Thank you for volunteering so that those who are performing can focus on sharpening their competitive skill in sports. Its privilege is to help within sports rather on behalf of the nation and sports at large. We appreciate your efforts.
So mo gantsi so tsabong ke yone tona mo go rona gore tsabo e fida rona kwana. So ga ise go re kgone go dira recruitment tota ne ke le ra ikala gore tana le recruitment gore re tla go bula sub region ko Charles Hill. So ka mabaka a di financial ga ise go re kgone go dira jalo.
Re le itse gore le ba ithaopi ga gona dituelo
ke ne ke bona di-comment tsa lona mo group go nka ne le botsa ka ke kgona go bona ga batho ba botsa ba bata madi ra ithaopa.
Still at this AGM, a new committee was elected with Makosile Tebele as the chairperson, deputized by Mr. Teko Teng.
Lebogile hala thata go pele tsamaisitse mokgatlo wa SVM magantsi e dirile ga le dirileng teng bontle tse re go dirile ra ba mogela re ra itumela so ra go tswelela go re tsa gona go a go lona go re tswelela
re a le soregetsa betse gore re ta dira tiro re ta taboga le rona le re tswa maotoko ga le bona gore dithapo tsa rona ka re di a baballa le nne le tsenya disolanyana kaga tota boithaopo ke seo se se tona ebile go supa gore you are determined to do it.
The new committee will be in office until 2027. Lesego Mokwahisi, BTV Sports, Gantsi.
And now in football news, a battle for supremacy will be on tomorrow at Lekidi Football Center when double action comes face-to-face with the Big Sisters in a rescheduled Women's Gaborone City Regional Football Association Division 1 League encounter. Kagiso Molelekwa.
Although 8th place Begi are yet to win a game from 7 matches, in which they only managed to salvage a draw and lost 6, double action know that they will give them a tough time. Bottom-placed Sisters welcome the defending league champions, still lagging wins from their 4-0 loss over Systems over the weekend. Coach Guagile Babusi's side will be banking on key players in the likes of Fodire Mangwanai, striker Unkemeze Gazi and Khomozo Moketsani to help his side to secure their first win of the season.
Our preparations are going as planned and very well. Injuries, we only have injury of one player, who is Lisa Batoko. The previous lineup, we have 7 players who will be at work. We are going to make 7 changes tomorrow. That's the only difficult situation that we are facing tomorrow. But we will definitely play with our level best. Double Action is a very, very wonderful team with a very, very wonderful coach. Playing them is one of those greatest pressures that you can wish for as a coach. But for us, we want our girls to go there and enjoy the game.
Double Action also have to win the game at all costs after dropping 2 vital points over the weekend when they played to a 1-all draw against Gaborone United. Action have played 5 games, won 4 and drawn 1. Only 5 points separates them from the local leader Security Systems. Double Action have a lot of experienced players in the likes of Lumo Senelo, midfielder Sohara Diakanyo, as well as the men's goalkeeper Mukibe, who know the importance of winning the game and reignite their league title hopes.
I think from our Saturday game, we gave the girls Sunday day off. We came back on Monday to come and do our recovery. All the girls were at training. I think everything went well, except our centre back, Desiree Kinyadiche, who got injured during our game on Saturday against GU. But all the girls are fine and ready for tomorrow's encounter. Big Sisters is a team which we stay near each other. The girls know each other much better. So I think it's going to be an interesting game, especially we are playing a midweek game.
The game starts at 5 p.m. Kagiso Molelekwa, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
Another mouth-watering encounter is anticipated tomorrow when former Premier League giants Mogodisane Fighters and Muchudi Center Chiefs square off in the Week 15 First Division South League match scheduled for SSG grounds. The Samba boys have played 14 games, won 3, drawn 5 and lost 6 and sits on position 11 with 14 points. Fighters host the Katlen Giants fresh from a 1-0 defeat against Zabotle FC in the Orange FA Cup last 32 encounter played over the weekend. Mochudi Center Chiefs, on the other hand, were held to a 1-all draw with Flamingo Santos in their last league encounter. Fourth place Mahosi have accumulated 20 points after playing 16 games in which they won 6, drawn 8 and lost 2. Mahosi are separated by 11 points from local leaders joining Young Stars. Well, and that is it for sport this evening. Khomoto Mapani is standing by to give us a reminder of our top stories. So let us go and prepare for tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Liza.
Let's just go.
No, I'm just reminded that we're coming off a weekend where the whole nation was behind Lesego Chombo, having made us proud. And I'm reminded of a story of you and John Cena and a beauty pageant. Three things in one, Eliza, John Cena, and a beauty pageant.
Yeah, well, it was for a good cause, so what can I say? I tried.
So you have participated in a beauty pageant?
Yes, I have.
And you went by the name
John Cena.
John Cena.
Yeah,
what a combination.
And guess what? Big Show was the winner for that pageant. Thank you, Khomutse.
Thank you so much, Liza. I would love to read your memoir someday because the stories you tell. That was Liza Oseke giving us the latest in sports. Let's take a final look at stories leading the way this evening. Namibian President Dr. Nangolo Mbumba arrived in Botswana this afternoon. Botswana remains committed to implementing policies aimed at accelerating equality and empowerment of women and girls. The one-day Francistown Major Bowls tournament set to be a success. That's all that we had for you in our news bulletin this evening. BTV News Ikanyarona, hashtag BW Mindset Change. Interpreting in sign language was Buinelo Ntole. Up next is the weather update.
Good evening and welcome to our forecast. I'm Pro Victoria Khusiami. Let's start off by looking at rainfall amounts recorded this morning at 8 a.m. We have 34 millimeters at Bateng Farm, 8 at Tlanhla Khotla, 5 millimeters at Kotolaname and Kakia Primary Schools, 2 at Veda Meteorological Station. Looking at tonight's satellite image is showing mostly clear skies over much of Botswana with some partly cloudy conditions over the western part. We are continuing to observe Cyclone Felipe, which has made landfall into Mozambique, and it is expected to go into the Indian Ocean as time goes on. For tomorrow over Botswana, we're expecting mostly partly cloudy conditions countrywide with isolated thunder showers over Khansi, Kgalagadi and Southern District. In the morning, we're expecting mostly hot temperatures countrywide, ranging between 20 over the southern southeast Gauteng and Kweneng, as well as Chobe to around 23 over much of Khansi, Ngamiland and northern central. In the afternoon, we're expecting extremely hot temperatures over Ngamiland, Chobe, Central District and Northeast, ranging between 39 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius. And for the remaining parts, we're expecting very hot temperatures, ranging between 36 over Nojani and Good Hope to around 38 degrees Celsius. For SADC cities, we're expecting some fine conditions over Appleton with highs of 37 and partly cloudy conditions over Cape Town, Johannesburg and Maseru, and over Manzini, isolated thunder showers are expected with highs of 32 degrees Celsius. Over Lusaka, we're expecting thunder showers with highs of 30 and possibilities of rain over Harare as well as Antananarivo with highs of 24 over Antananarivo. Over Windhoek, we're expecting some partly cloudy conditions. Possibilities of rain over Dar es Salaam with highs of 34, and we're expecting thunder showers over Blantyre, Kinshasa, and Luanda with highs of 35 over Kinshasa and 34 over Luanda. That's the weather forecast. Have yourself a good night.
Coming up next on Conversation with Africa.
How imperative does capacity building is in order to strengthen Africa's labor market, especially when we speak to improved output?
When we talk about industry,